Hi, I'm Adam Lambert, and this is my wife, April Lambert. And we've kind of been asked to discuss how God led us to the Sand Hills here in Cody and the story that led up to that.
Well, at the last year, we were both full-time teachers, and we also have our 3 kids, aged 6, 4, and 2. And we kind of were at a very stressful point in our lives where we were trying to balance 2 full-time jobs, and Adam coaching full-time and me being a mother and taking care of the house. And we just started praying that God would make a major change in our lives. Adam was finishing his superintendency degree. He didn't have it all the way done at the time, but we just knew that something needed to change because we were really stretched thin. So we started praying for God to take care of some of our expenses that were kind of hovering over us. And my job was a major source of stress because I was a teacher. I had 135 English students, high school English students every day. And Adam would leave the house at 6:45 every day to go to a rehearsal.
Probably get back at 9 p.m.
Get
I was
back.
pretty much non-existent in the household, so.
So we knew that for our family we needed a major change, and we started praying just for God's will to be done, because we know that God's will is good and it's perfect, and we didn't know what that was going to look like, but this job opening appeared in Cody, Nebraska, and we had to Google it and look on the map. Where is that?
I knew I always wanted to be an administrator. My dad was an administrator, and we didn't know really what the timing was going to be. And I was just at the end of my degree, and I decided maybe we should try that and kind of put it in God's hands. And I applied to a bunch of different places, and then actually the first one we saw was Cody, and we both had it was kind of a spiritual thing because it almost felt like He provided that for us when it came to. We went back to our small group and we talked to them about it and said, I'm going to start applying. It may mean we're going to move. And we started talking about Cody to him, and we felt really good about it. We were sad that we were potentially going to leave our church group, but it just felt right. And we just had that sense of peace in it. And it just seemed like it checked all the boxes. And yeah,
and I remember the day that we drove out here to interview. It was early December, and I told Adam on the way, we need to decide as soon as possible once we get out here if we're going to commit to this, because if you were to get the job offer, which we were really unsure of because it was his first interview that he'd ever had, that we would need to be able to say yes or no. Well, our whole drive out, we ended up driving through St. Paul and through the country the whole way, and we just enjoyed every bit of it the whole way. And then I remember walking into the school that day in the morning, and just seeing all the people that were there, and all the other candidates for the job were there too. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, well, this will be a good learning experience.
I don't have a shot, basically.
All the other candidates were much older, and you could just tell they had a lot of experience. But yeah, God really took everything away.
He took all 4 things, and just the things that were stressing us the most, He just grabbed them, took control of them, and took them all away and brought us here to Cody. So April's able to stay at home. We're not living in an area where we have a bunch of CEOs living, I guess. We can't really keep up with those Joneses. And now that she can stay home, we have no more daycare. And she's able to help me more. And that kind of helps keep everybody in line. And it's helped our family, and it's helped our faith. And it's just been a true blessing to move out here. It definitely was a gift from God. And
I guess what part do you think prayer played in your guys' transition?
We've been studying about prayer in our small groups, and I think we both decided, we prayed one night together and just kind of started moving forward in that direction, which is, another great thing here with prayer in schools. Prayer has a huge impact on everything, just giving it all to God, and that's that's what we did, and we were able to do that together, and he took it all away. It's been great. I can't be any happier.
And I think prayer, people don't realize how powerful prayer is and how much it's needed because, you know, having both of us been teachers in public schools in a pretty large city, schools are this meeting place of so much pain and hurt and people who don't know Jesus and who don't understand how giving him the power over their life can change it. And I think teachers especially need our prayers because you're thrown into the face of that every day and you're responsible for, you know, a lot of people think teaching is just opening a book and you know, these are the pages we're doing today, but it's so much more than that. It's dealing with everything that those kids come to school with.
Well, and even as teachers, we're constrained that we can't talk about the Bible in school, and that hurt us a little bit too. So that the power of prayer there, since we can't directly reach kids in the classroom, which frustrated us, prayer is just another great avenue to be praying. We prayed a lot. I mean, even in our small groups, we would say students' names by name just to make sure that they knew, and we were praying for those individual kids, and we could see a huge difference in prayer. So